apparently so few talented African Black Americans that we have to literally import people to play a Black woman in the South in the 1930s.
Now, look, every so many couple of months, we're having the same old Todd discussion. This debate about Black Brits playing FBA and ADOS roles. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Any other time I heard this conversation, I was always on the side of I really do not care. As long as they play the role well, that's all I really cared about. But I'm be honest with y'all. After hearing this conversation, this guy makes a point, and I'm telling you, I've been delivered. I've been delivered because I completely changed my mind on how I see the situation. Let's get into it.
The other thing is we should be getting paid off our stories. That was going to be my second point from before, which is that I think that the money from our stories should be going to us.
Who is us? And I agree with you, by the way, but like, who is
African Americans? So in the same way that I think if we tell a story about the Windrush generation, African descending British folks need to be the people getting paid off that.
The first time I was hearing this point of view. Most of the time, it's typically focused on if they can actually play the role well enough, if they have the personality, will it be received on film, can they get the cultural nuances when it comes to playing the characters in these roles. And I always felt like that was a point that felt very mute. Like these people are actors. These people are kind of picked intentionally because of their skill set and what they are able to bring to the role. So for me, it was never a conversation of if they had the skill set to actually portray these roles. And I'll be honest with you, now hearing this argument coming from an economic standpoint, it completely changed how I feel about the situation. You gotta stick with me so you can really start to understand why this is so important. And if you're new here, my name is Jade with Getting to the Black, and I break down viral narratives and cultural conversations just like this. And this is why this whole thing is so important. So you guys know that one of my main goals in life is I want to ensure that the Black dollar is circulating in the Black community longer than it currently is. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, well, these actors, they're Black Brits, so they're Black, right? When I'm speaking of the Black community, I'm talking about ADOS, FBA, Black American, African American, whatever terminology you want to use for that lineage of people. When you're talking about this discussion, we're talking about roles that are specifically about the ADOS and the FBA stories. We should 100% be the people who are financially benefiting from those roles. And I'm not trying to start no diaspora war here, okay? I'm not saying that Black Brits don't care about ADOS or they're not going to give them money, etc., or like invest in their community. But the reality is they are not.
Quoting facts. This is facts. I do my research. This is facts.
And one of the things I do realize that is a limitation to this idea that we should be benefiting economically from these roles is the fact that if we're talking about the whole production and who pockets is getting filled when these films are happening, you can really look at it and tell that it's not going to be ADOS or FBA who's going to be the sole beneficiaries of what's going to be earned from these films, right? There's definitely going to be people who earn money from these films who do not identify with that lineage. But at the same time, I think that is the reason why it becomes even more important that something like a role be given to these people. And hear me out. Hear me out when I explain this to you, right? I think it is the burden upon us as Black actors. Well, I'm not an actor. I think it's the burden upon Black actors to make sure that whatever roles that they are accepting, that if it is a non-fictional character, that you like just don't even try out for the role. If you get offered it, say no. But if you become the only option, because like he even said it in there, like, like there can be exceptions to the rule. But I think if there is an exception to the rule, it is important that you make it a point to give back to that community. You only got that opportunity because that story exists, and that story only exists because of the community that it came out of. It's really important that you give back to the people that gave to you, that even gave you the opportunity to have what you have today. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our family, join our kinfolk here. You know what it is. You know what it is. And for all my kinfolk, you know what to do. Hit that like button like it owes you money. And if you're feeling it, hype, 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 hype it up. If you like this video, you're most certainly going to like this one. And until next time, stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay black. This is Jade, and you're watching Get Into the Black. Bye-bye.